Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. It is Friday the 16th, and I have already released the pendulum video, but I think, the news today just warrants a bit of a video. So I'm not going to do a long one, it's going to be quick. So, almost $355 million in fines. Can't do business in New York for 3 years. And let's not forget, this is just not Trump. This is the corporation. So this involves his sons. And I don't know, do they have businesses anywhere else? I mean, I know they have things that aren't in New York, but I'm talking about, where is their corporate head office? Where are they, registered? So that's going to be interesting to see how that sort of, washes out within the family. I mean, maybe, Laura Trump is going to, end up being a co-chair of the, RNC, and then, and she did say, she absolutely said, every single penny that is donated to the RNC goes completely to, returning Trump to the White House. Nothing about any of the other candidates who are running, who get, money from the RNC. And so, it's so crazy, right? It's like he's so intent on getting into the White House, which is not going to happen, but he doesn't care about, any other Republicans. How does he plan on governing if there is a Democratic House and a Democratic Senate? He is, anyways. Listen, I just wanted to take a quick peek and see how Mr. Trump is doing now that verdict penalty has been reached and released. Just really quick before I get there, I just want to say this. So there are other people suing or other entities suing Trump regarding January 6th. Like there's one, I think that's Swalwell has one. There's the police one. Anyways, in any case, Trump has neglected to choose to take that case of immunity all the way to the Supreme Court. He's left it with, I guess, the court below that made the judgment that, yeah, he actually doesn't have immunity. So this is for civil cases, okay? Not to be confused with the criminal case, okay? But I thought it was really interesting that he just sort of backed away from that. So kind of curious. All right. I'm just going to go take a peek and see how he is doing as a result of this. Okay, so first, he literally has a pain in his head, like right here, like a really sharp pain. I'm not thinking it's a stroke or anything like that. It just feels like sort of quite a painful headache. Not surprisingly, one would think his blood pressure might be through the roof. To say he is angry, to say he is mad, are absolute understatement. The closest I can come to his temper right now is volcanic. Okay. He is just, God, you do not want to be in his path right now. He is screaming at lawyers. He is blaming everybody. And he is, this isn't fair. Everybody's correct. He's just screaming. One of the things that was said was that even despite the fact that experts said this is the truth, he just denied it. He just doubled down and tripled down. And so that didn't go well for him with the judge. So he's super, super angry. His kids, the two boys, are in a little bit now. So this is the thing, right? It's not like they weren't expecting it. If they weren't expecting this, then they're just like dumb. But because they had already been found, he already ruled them as guilty of the fraud, right? This was just the penalty. Um, but everybody is a little wee bit shell shocked. It feels like they're not quite sure how to do this. What I can tell energetically is he does not have that money available. And of course, if and he's screaming, he's going to appeal. But we all know when you appeal, you have to put down, a significant chunk of money. Sometimes it's the entire amount. Sometimes it's percentage plus interest. It, he's already got to deal with that with the E. Jean Carroll case with the 87.5 or whatever it is million. Now, 355, there's just not that money, even though he was bragging, a while ago that he had $400 million in the bank. Listen, what anybody actually believe that he actually had $400 million in the bank? He lies about everything. I don't know why everybody's saying, well, he had it. Well, he didn't have it, for goodness sakes. So there is a bit of a panic going on right now because they don't have the money to mount the appeals. So that's going to be interesting to see how this all sort of plays out. Right now, the energy is volatile. There is a lot of it. It's really funny because in some ways he wasn't expecting this. So I don't quite know if he didn't understand that the guilty verdict had already been rendered. Or if he actually thought that doubling down and tripling down and just, being him, was somehow going to sway the judge to like really minimize the penalty. And of course, he did not. I think Letitia James was looking for 270, 355. So anyways, okay, so right now the Trump family is like spiraling. He is screaming. I don't know if he has already, but don't be surprised if he doesn't release a statement and it's just going to be a rambling, everybody's picking on me, I'm a victim, kind of a statement. So where does this go? Spirit, can you kind of tell me where this goes? All right. So it looks like they're going to try to incorporate a new business in Florida. Okay, that's sort of to be expected, I guess. But let's not forget, there's still that the judge who's doing the financial oversight work. I believe that she is still involved in that. And so I'm not sure, kind of what assets they're going to use to incorporate a Trump 2.0 in Florida. But it feels like that could definitely be one of the things that he's sort of playing with and toying with. So I guess the big question, I don't know, on my mind, so probably on yours too, is, okay, so is he going to get bailed out? Is there somewhere on the planet where money might be coming to him to help him move through this sort of financial crisis? So what I'm getting is there's sort of talk about it. I'm getting, Saudi Arabia, Russia. Right now, Putin has enough problems with Navalny's death. So, I think he's probably not focused on that right yet in terms of Trump and his money problems. But you know what? I'm not getting like a real push that there's going to be all of these funds coming to save his butt. I think part of it is um, getting the money to him from out of the country. I mean, how do you hide? $450 million. If you add the two of them together, it's more than that, I think. Um, so there's like talk about it, but it somehow doesn't feel like that's going to be in the immediate works. It possibly a little bit down the line when things start to cool down a little bit, there may be funds that get trickled into him. It's possible that he has, see, this is the thing. If he has money stashed somewhere else in, other accounts in other countries, he's not going to get that. This is going to create a massive fundraising event. That's where he is planning on getting the money from. He's planning on getting it from people who can ill afford to send him $25 or $50 a month. He is going to get it and completely strip the RNC of any money they have. But you need to know that he is not going to draw from whatever money or assets that he has to satisfy this. It's just not going to happen. And they're saying what I'm getting at this point is that if he appeals, and he's screaming about it, but screaming about it and doing it are a little bit different. But if he appeals, it kind of feels like the Supreme Court is like, So I don't think that the Supreme Court's exactly going to jump in and come to his defense on that. So that's where we're at. We have volcanic emotions. We have worry. We have anxiety. We have head pain. We have an awareness that there is not that money available, and that he needs to come up with that money in order to sort of launch an appeal. I think he's going to try to appeal, but I just somehow, for some reason, I'm just not seeing it getting there. So I'm not sure, but that's right. And listen, this also, don't forget, this also involves Eric and Don Jr. So they too are not like out of the woods, right? They are just as impacted by this as Daddy. So there seems to be almost a little bit of confusion. And they're showing me Don Jr. making another rambling, incoherent video. So don't be surprised if that comes across the, airwaves in the next short while. Ivanka, it looks like Ivanka has nothing to say. I don't believe she's going to issue a statement. They're not showing me Eric right now. In some ways, they're trying to figure out how to mitigate a little bit the statement that she made, that Laura made, that every single penny is going to go to reelect Trump, and sort of basically the hell with everybody else. So there's that. Okay, so that's where we are right now. He's a little annoyed, and I guess it's not going to be a great weekend for him. All right, I'm going to go and not gloat, because I can't create any personal karma over this. You all have a really, really good weekend. Bye-bye for now.